Hey guys, today we're going to be showing you the Dual 77 forensic laser. What's really exciting about our video today is we've made some recent upgrades based on the feedback over the last 3 years that we've heard from you, from our customers that have used the laser. The Dual 77 laser is now a single gun. When we introduced the product years ago, there were two wavelengths, blue and green, and they were two different guns that you had to connect and disconnect from the main battery pack. Well, now we have one single gun that looks like this. So the blue and the green laser are both inside this one gun. Another great improvement is that we've increased the power. So in the blue and in the green, you're now getting a full 8 watts. We're really excited about these two improvements. Customers are already purchasing them, and we are now ready to offer them for sale. They are available now. Let's go over what the laser is, and then we're gonna look at some fingerprints and then some biologicals. So we're gonna use it as a latent print examiner would, and then we're also gonna use it as a crime scene investigator would. But before we do that, let me talk to you about the features of the laser. So the laser battery is encompassed in this box right here. So inside the box is an operational battery that can last up to 7 hours in the blue diode and about 3 hours in green. Connected to the battery itself is the gun. So inside this gun are the two laser diodes. We've got blue 445 and 520 green. The blue primarily is going to be used at the crime scene. You're going to be using the blue laser and yellow goggles. The green is going to be used at the laboratory for latent print examiners to take pictures of dye-stained fingerprints. The green laser is going to be used primarily with orange goggles. Both of these lasers are inside this one gun. It's not two guns anymore, it's one, and each of them have 8 watts of power. It's a very simple laser to use. To turn it on, we just flip the one red switch, just like that. It's going to take a few seconds to power up. And once it does, you're going to see on the LED screen a quick passcode. Now, this passcode is used for safety. So we want to make sure that not just anyone knows this passcode, but only those who are authorized and know how to use the forensic laser. So let's enter the passcode on the screen. So we're going to press enter. Now the laser is going to give us a choice. It's going to ask us, do we want to use the blue laser or the green laser? So I'm going to press blue right here, 445 on the screen, and it's going to give me a countdown from 5 seconds to tell me which color goggles to put on. This is great for training. So when I pressed blue, it gave me the instruction to use yellow goggles. We're going to use yellow with blue when we're at the crime scene looking for biologicals, semen, urine, saliva, and sweat. Now on the screen, we've got several options. We've got our battery power. It shows us we're at full battery. And then we have the option to adjust our power. So we can adjust from 25% all the way up to 100 by just dragging the bar, or we can press 25 and then we can press 100. Most of the time, you're going to want most of the power up to 100. When you're shooting latent fingerprints, you'll want less power sometimes because it will be too bright and you'll see too much of the dye stain. That's why you can adjust it. We also have a trigger override. If I turn this on, it's going to ask me, first of all, do you have goggles on? Another safety step. And when I hit yes, it's going to give me 5 seconds to make sure I have those goggles on, because then the laser is going to turn on continuously. If I want the laser to be off, using the red trigger on the gun, then I simply press no, and now the laser is back off. Okay, after I'm done using blue, if I need to go back to green, there's just a quick arrow. I click on the right side of the screen, and now I'm back to choosing which laser color I would like to use. Okay, let's look at the gun itself. So as I mentioned, you've got the handle that holds the gun. It's very similar to holding an actual revolver, an actual gun, or a 9mm, whatever gun you're holding. So it's comfortable in your hand. There is a fan on this side that's cooling the diodes, and then a filter on the end of the laser that protects those looking at the laser at the crime scene. You always want to wear goggles, but there's also a diffuser here that narrows the width of the laser. And to turn the laser on, all I'm going to do is pull this trigger, this red trigger right here. And we'll get into actually using the laser in just a moment. On the bottom of the handle, I also have the ability to mount this on a tripod. This will mount on any tripod, a 3/8 mount, so I can keep the gun still aimed right at my evidence. So we're going to set this down. We also have, I'm going to pick this up, we'll transition back over to the wide screen here so you can see me picking it up. So I can hold the laser in my hand. There's actually a clip here where I can clip it onto my pocket or my pants as well. But this is about 5 pounds. It's a very lightweight laser. So it's mobile, designed to go to a crime scene, or I can use it at the lab by mounting the gun on a tripod. Okay, let's get into actually using the laser and show some latent prints and some biologicals. Okay, we are now going to use the Dual 77 laser in a latent print lab setting. So behind me, I've got several different dye stains that we're going to use with the green laser. I've got my orange goggles on to protect my eyes, but also so I can see the fingerprints that have been dye stained. So I'm going to transition over. I've got my laser mounted onto an arm. So this mounts onto a tripod, or I've got it mounted onto my flexible steel arm and directly onto the table. So I'm going to show you the difference between an alternate light source that's green and then also a laser that's green. We're going to have orange goggles on, and the camera will have an orange filter. So let's check out what the Dual 77 looks like at a latent print laboratory. Okay, first I'm going to turn on my green ALS, and you're going to be seeing dye stains that are varied. So they're going to have indane-dione stains on this cardboard cutout here. Indane-dione on cardboard. You've got DFO. We have some rhodamine, some RAM, and also some colored fingerprint powder, fluorescent powder. So here is what this particular board looks like with an alternate light source. So this is indane-dione right here on cardboard. And as we move over to the right, we've got DFO. And then here's rhodamine on plastic. Rhodamine on cardboard here. So I'm starting to see there's a little bit of ridge detail. RAM on aluminum foil and on a cutout of a magazine. And then down here at the bottom, we've got some fluorescent fingerprint powder. So I'm starting to see that green with orange, some of these powders start to fluoresce pretty nicely. Okay, I'm going to turn my light source off, and now I'm going to turn the laser on. So I'm going to hold the trigger here. We're going to start off on the top left-hand corner. You can see the indane-dione prints pretty well on the cardboard. And we've got some DFO prints. The rhodamine looks really nice. I can really start to see the detail there. And then down below the rhodamine, the fluorescent fingerprint powder. As I make my way to the left side, we're going to see the RAM and then more fluorescent powder.
So huge difference between the Dual 77 green and then also the alternate light source. So now I'm going to turn it up to 100%. That was 25%. So I'm going to click the 100% button right on the laser, and I'm also going to click the trigger override so that the laser is continually on. So now the laser's counting down 1 second, and I'm up to 100%. A lot more power. Here's those Indane Dione prints on cardboard. I'm starting to see the DFO print on paper. The rhodamine prints down here at the bottom. And as I make my way to the right, rhodamine on plastic, and then the fluorescent fingerprint powder on varied surfaces on the bottom right-hand corner. So let's look at the green ALS again. I'm going to turn my laser off here. And then here's the same prints with the green ALS. Just a huge difference in seeing evidence or not based on the type of alternate light source laser that you're using. Okay, let's transition now as a crime scene investigator over to some biologicals. Okay, we're at our, as it were, mock crime scene. I'm looking now at some semen stains on a variety of fabrics here. Okay, so I've got my blue alternate light source, and we're going to go down the line of all these semen stains on a variety of fabrics. And you can see we have our yellow filter on the end of our camera, and I'm getting a few stains to pop up here. I'm about a foot away from the stains. Now we're going to transition to urine stains right here as we move along. Still the blue ALS, still my yellow filter. And some of these fabrics, I'm able to see some of the stains, some I just can't see very many at all. Okay, I'm going to turn off my alternate light source, and we're going to go now to the laser. So I'm going to turn on the forensic laser. I've got my yellow goggles on. A gigantic difference. These are semen stains. So we're going to go over this from left to right and show you the difference on what the alternate light source looked like versus our 8-watt 445 Dual 77 laser. All those stains you couldn't see, I can see all of them perfectly well. Okay, now I'm going to turn it up to 100%. That was 25%. So I'm going to click the 100% button, and we're going to go back from right to left. So again, these are urine stains on a variety of fabrics with the yellow filter on our camera. I have yellow goggles on, and I'm able to see every one of these stains very clearly. And as we move to the end of this board, we've now looked at all the semen and urine stains. I've got the laser on my shoulder, and I'm very mobile, lightweight, able to see the stains very clearly. Okay, let's now transition to photography. So we are at a mock laboratory here at Arrowhead Forensics headquarters. I've got the Dual 77 set up with my FSIS camera. The FSIS is a full spectrum imaging system that allows me to view from shortwave UV all the way to infrared. We're going to use it today with our Dual 77. Okay, we're using the FSIS with we're going to put on an orange filter with a dye stain fingerprint, a rhodamine dye stain fingerprint. I've got the 520 green pointing right underneath my FSIS camera lens. And we're going to see the difference between a standard orange glass barrier filter and the FF1 filter that's going to remove background noise. So right now I have no filter on with the laser up at 100%. If I put an orange filter on, which I'm going to do right now, my orange filter is up underneath the camera. Okay, I can hardly see anything. At this point, I would have to take the laser power down. I would have to adjust my aperture and my exposure time, but I don't want to do that because I want to utilize the power of the laser. It's at 100%. So what I can do is remove my orange filter. It's removed now, and now I'm gonna put the FF1 stacked with a curved orange filter underneath the camera. And this is your result. 100% different. So let's go ahead and save this in color and see the detail that we're able to capture with the FF1 stacked with an orange curved barrier filter. We're gonna take a color image of rhodamine on plastic. So my FSI is capturing an image now. And we're gonna preview this full screen and zoom in. So we went from seeing no fingerprint with a regular orange filter, and then we switched to the FF1 and we're able to see the green fluorescing rather than the orange background fluorescing with the standard orange filter. Let's exit preview, and then we'll exit again, and then let's go right back to, this is no filter here. Now I put my FF1 stacked with the orange curve filter with a 2-second exposure, and this is the preview of my fingerprint.
Thank you for watching our video today on the Dual 77 laser. We hope that it's been informative, and if you have any questions about ALS processing, laser processing, chemical development processes, or just about the laser in general, we'd be happy to help. Please contact us, arrowheadforensics.com or sales@arrowheadforensics.com, and we look forward to hearing from you.